All right. How are you guys?
Good.
How is everybody?
Tired?
Yeah?
I'm not.
Was it fun last night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Last night.
Some more last night, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys do
Yeah. What's going on? Everyone's like kind of spread out.
I'm not worried.
They like kind of gravitated to this side. Next week will be that side. All right. Well, you guys get me for team meeting. So, how are you guys? You know, it's fun about everybody. Tired? Yeah.
That's on the.
What am I doing?
YouTube.
Just mute.
No,
works.
we just had an echo going. Even better. Okay. Hi. Welcome. We're gonna get started. We have great special guests today. Good topics. Lots of good things going on. So we're gonna just get right into it. Reminder: please put your cell phones on silent or vibrate. If your phone rings during team meeting, you have to make a KW Cares donation. Oh. So thank you for all that. So if you can just leave it on, the ringer, loud. Yeah. All right. You got time for a couple bucket fills. Who has a bucket fill you want to share? I'll share. Kate Beckstead. Oh, she made my life so easy. She put on that entire party yesterday. Everything, all the details. I've been here for 4 years. This is the first time I haven't had to do anything, and it was great. It was great. She did a wonderful job. It was a lot of fun. So, Kate, I know she's running around today catching up. Appreciate you. Yeah. Who else got a bucket fill? Yeah.
It was right. The food was outstanding.
Oh yeah. There's leftover mac and cheese in the fridge.
Oh.
Like 10 pounds of it. Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a potato bar for lunch from McAllister's. Craig Davis sponsoring. All right, we got one more time. One more bucket fill. Who else has bucket fill? Oh, nice. Oh yeah, you guys put your head together and crushed a 2.5 hour course in 2.5 hours, right? Yeah. Yeah. Peyton's fantastic. Susan's amazing. Love it. Yeah, Kristen, Chad, and Peyton are at the region right now doing a training. So that's why they're not here. We're going to keep going because, again, we are jam-packed today. All right, real quick, birthdays, December birthdays. We have Hannah, Solomon, Alice, Petra, Kate. Ooh, Kate Beck says this week, and Jared Jester. So if you guys see these guys, make sure you wish them a happy birthday. All right, next Wednesday is our last team meeting for 2025 or 4. Oh my gosh, I'm already here. Next week is our last 2024 team meeting, and we are going to have an ugly holiday sweater party. So please make sure next Wednesday you bring your ugliest holiday Christmas sweater, and we are going to have an affiliate. We'll have lunch, and we'll just kind of wrap up the year. It's a lot of value, so please make sure you're here next week in outfit. All right, Nick, Legal Eagle and Nick Greeno, come on up. All right. And by the way, we all should thank Nick. Nick was our sponsor last night for our holiday party. He made it all happen.
Hey, no, I appreciate whoever had that food last night. It was well worth the sponsorship. That food.
It's just cute.
Yeah, that was a great time last night. And I always appreciate being invited. I have two things I want to talk about, but this is legal eagle. You can ask me questions, okay? So if you have things regarding anybody you're working with, something you want to know, just ask. But two things I wanted to talk about. The first one is we have inspections that get done. And when the inspections call for things to be fixed, and they're not being fixed, they're gonna be fixed after the closing. A lot of times we've just gotten accustomed to, okay, we'll just put it on the seller side because the lender doesn't look at the seller side. Well, they're making a change. The seller side is being looked at by the lenders now. Lenders are asking more and more for the inspection, whoever's gonna do the work, they want to see the invoice, they want to see the work orders, they are asking for more things. Okay, so if we're putting stuff on the seller side, the lenders are getting hip to that, and we are being asked for things. One of the ways to fix that is to increase seller paid closing costs instead. Maybe doing a clean addendum that says, hey, seller agrees to pay $2,000 for buyer's closing costs. Something like that, instead of pay for work, pay for this defect. If they see defect notices, they are getting concerned, just to let you know. The other thing we have it went out of my head.
Back up for a second. Normally, there's an escrow. What I do, especially if it's a big dollar item, say it's $5,000, $6,000, $10,000.
Yeah.
It could be a structural issue, who knows? And so the buyer gets a check for that vendor or construction company to give to them when their work is done.
Yes.
So you're saying that's now going to show up for the lender or the person like that?
The ones that are showing on the settlement statement. Okay, if we're doing an escrow, it is possible to do an escrow outside of the closing statement where the seller has agreed to put money up from their proceeds and put it in escrow. And if we're doing that, the lender doesn't see that at all.
Okay, that's why.
Okay.
We can,
Yeah.
we can speak that out loud.
Okay, it depends on depends on the amount. Because I get asked this question all the time. Hey, look, we want to do a $10,000 escrow for repairs. And I go, whoa. Okay. If you're talking $10,000 on a $50,000 house, no chance we're doing that. Okay, because we're talking 20% of the sale price. If we talk $10,000 on a $500,000 house, yeah, that's easy. Okay, so it depends on these numbers, how they look. Just because it's a large escrow doesn't mean it's large in comparison to your closing. And so, yeah, if it doesn't really affect the value of that house, then we have no problem doing it off the closing, off the books, kind of. And so, can we speak it out? No, we can't speak that out loud. But yes, this is something that is something that it's reality.
It's better just to do seller pays, max that out. And
That's the easiest way to do it. Is seller paid closing costs if you've got the money to do that. If you've got the numbers that'll allow you to do that.
A lot of times, buyer, they'll have do whatever. So a lot of times, the construction company can't get to the time, so it might be 2 months after closing.
Absolutely. Oh, and lenders understand exterior work in the wintertime being delayed. So exterior work is usually not a big problem for lenders. Interior items, especially like you said, foundation work, that'll set up all kinds of bells and whistles. Exterior roofing, pool, things like that, that usually is not a problem for a lender. And then I remember the other thing. If you've got a seller with a common name, Smith, Jones, Johnson, Nguyen, if you've got a seller with a common name, don't put closing in a week and a half. Okay? You have to close those later. Here's why. The state of Ohio, if I get common name liens, which I will in Hamilton County on any Smith, Jones, Johnson, any of those, if I get common name liens, if I send that up to the state of Ohio, the state of Ohio turnaround, the shortest turnaround at this minute is 14 business days. 14 business days. Okay? They're up to 19 days. Business days. That's a long time. And if you have buyers expect, what's that?
It's fast for government.
And they were getting it down. They, at one point,
Seen it,
in the
yeah.
middle of the year last year, they were down about 7 business days. It was amazing. And I think they keep losing people, and therefore it keeps pushing these timeframes back up. And if you've got a closing, expect it to close quick. Your buyer expects to close and be in on a common name, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, great question. What's the process? We get these common name leads. We're trying to do everything we can to see ourselves if this doesn't look like that person. And we're using addresses. We're using anything on there that they've got information for us to see if it might be our person. Because we look at our person, we try to find if our person had anything to do with the address this is at. Sometimes a business name is associated with it. And if we don't think it's our person, a lot of times we can escrow and let you close if your seller has the extra money. If we can hold money from the seller, a lot of times we can escrow and then they get their money back and it allows us to close. But if we really can't tell, and it's a large dollar amount, and or your seller doesn't have that money to put up, we have to wait. And so, but what the process is this: we get these common name liens, and it doesn't matter if we don't think it's our person at all. We have them sign an authorization form with their social security number on it. It has to be notarized. We send that to the state. The state then reviews it, and the minute the state gets it, they get it with the authorization and copies of all the liens we found. As soon as they get it, that starts that time frame, and which means if we don't get that signed authorization back from the seller for several days, maybe even sometimes a week, they just delayed everything we're doing by a week.
So scenario when we do have someone, because I've had a couple this year.
Yeah.
That we've waited quite some time.
Yeah.
And so when we do have the sellers, should we, once we're under contract, shoot that on over to at least start the process while they're getting everything else done on the back end? Like, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
if you
So-
think inspections look problematic, we don't care. We'll send it to the state. If you get that, we see this from the title, we get it to you, we send it to the state as quick as we can. Yeah, don't wait on because of us.
Yeah, because usually you guys requesting it, but if we
Yeah.
don't have a common name, just shoot it over to you and say, hey.
Great. Here's,
get it going.
let me have them sign this and get it notarized and get right back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 more. Good.
So I have a rental question. I have a rental that has a strict no pet policy. that
Yes.
if pets broken multiple times. Is that grounds for a 3-day notice that they gave?
Okay. The pet thing revolves around a couple things. First off, did they do an ESA or is it a service animal? That's the first thing. Okay.
It's apparently somebody.
Emotional
somebody
support?
else. It's like a girlfriend.
So it's
Not even on the
just-
lease. Okay. Okay, so we definitely don't have that issue. And is there no pet policy in the lease? That's the other thing. Okay, so based upon both of those, yes, it is a 3-day notice because it's a clear violation. But what I would always say is contact these professional eviction guys. And I've got a couple names if anybody wants. Anybody need a professional eviction? Okay, so first one is Dave Donnett, Donnett.
Local mafia.
Local mafia, no, he does a lot of the local counties. He's doing evictions every day for landlords. 513-421-4000. I give his name out all the time. Yeah, yeah. And then the other gal I had memorized, she stopped doing them. She retired. And the replacement I don't have that by memory, but I can email. If anybody needs names like that, just email me and I'll get you those real quick.
Thank you.
Second one.
So I've got a listing, it has a reverse mortgage. The borrower passed away.
Oh.
There was no transfer fund debt. What we found at 44.
Unreleased mortgage? What?
Unreleased mortgage.
I agree.
What's your recommendation on how to get to that money?
Well,
I
the,
gotta find like the title, maybe find a sale on the state.
that's one way to do it. If you can find them, if you can't find them, we're looking at the actual recorded doc to see if there's a loan number on it. And if you have any paperwork at the deceased house regarding that old loan, okay, but US Bank is still around, so that's good. Haven't heard back from you. They usually have like a 45-day investigation period when you submit this, but they do have the old record. So at some point, they'll be able to find out.
So I have it inside the West Bank, that's probably my next route.
And if anybody comes across properties like that, just
Yeah,
flip
yeah,
them to Mr. Jackson, he'll take care of all that. So just send you all those weird crap.
No, I don't like those, but I figure shit out.
And we do too, and that's why we get a lot of those. As a matter of fact, I think there are realtors in town that they see who the seller is and they know there's been issues, and we get that order because they know we do the extra work. Anybody else?
Any questions?
Yeah.
So with this law that I think it's being enacted by the end of this year, if you're a business owner, you can put your name on the LLC.
They put a pause on that.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
I saw the state started to do that. So is Ohio, they follow that as well, or?
No, the state of Ohio has been one of the most lax on getting owner information. The only thing you give the state of Ohio when you file a company is a statutory agent who doesn't have to have any ownership or interest in that property whatsoever, in that company. So a lot of places, if I check the website, I'll see incorporator, I'll see main manager or some of the main parties, I get their names. But in Ohio, they don't do that. Ohio should do that. I don't know why they don't. But that's why FinCEN and this reporting came up, because a lot of states don't have information about who these owners are. But the FinCEN reporting and that BOI reporting was just put on hold by a federal judge. And so we're not sure if that's going to come back or not.
So you don't
This-
have to have that done by.
You do not have to have that done at this minute. That's been put on hold by a federal judge. You heard that today. But that was a good question. Anybody else? Hey, if I don't see you, have a great holiday season, have a great Christmas, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. That was a good question, Kurt. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So I'll get more information on that and post it, but it sounds like this is on pause, so cool. All right. Just let you know, Craig is not here today because he's up at the region, learning, which is great, but he did sponsor lunch. So when you guys see Craig, when he comes back, make sure you thank him for lunch today. But we do have a special guest, so you are up. If you want to, I don't have your information up here. Do you want me to control this, or do you want to just control it? Okay. If you just, yeah. I don't know why this came up. Hold on. There you go. All right.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to introducing you to my company, Credit Integrity. And I'm more so looking forward to explaining to you how I can help your credit challenge clients, but also how I can help you close more deals. Now, starting off again, my name is Trayvon Greenlee. Feel free to call me Trey. I am a credit counselor with a specialty in credit repair. I got started in this industry working for a local bank, First Financial Bank, and I have over 8 years of credit underwriting experience. So I was underwriting several different lines of credit, everything from first and second mortgages to consumer loans, which includes credit cards, installment loans, secured and unsecured, and also vehicle loans. So when it comes to reviewing a client's credit report, I review it more so from a vendor standpoint. And along with that, I have helped Craig Davis improve a few of his clients' credit scores. And it's actually really helpful that I do have that credit underwriting experience because Craig can send me a client and he can say, hey, this client, he's a veteran. I'm trying to get him qualified for a VA loan, but his credit is fantastic. I'm already familiar with those guidelines. So when I meet with the client, I already know the credit goals and we can get straight to business. Now, before we get started, I do have two questions for you all. My first question is, how many of you in here have experience working with a client but had to stop the process because they were not credit ready? Feel free to just raise your hand. Great. Well, not great, but anyway. Now, my second question for you is, how many of those clients have you tried to work with in order to improve their credit? So you took it upon yourself to either try to repair their credit or give them credit counseling. Feel free to raise your hand if you have. Okay, fantastic. So I am here to take that burden off of you and place it solely on me and my company at Credit Tech. Now, the factors that affect your client's credit scores, 35% is payment history. A lot of people actually do not know this. They think if they just make on-time payments, that's all they need to do to have a positive, and I'm sorry, to have a positive credit report and to have a high score, when in fact that is false. 30% is capacity and amount owed, which is also referred to as your credit utilization. 15% is the length of credit, so how long you've actually had your account reporting on your credit report. New credit, which is inquiries, and also any new accounts that have been opened the past 12 to 18 months. And then last but not least, 10% is types of credit used. So that's installment loans versus revolving credit, similar to like credit cards or line of credit. Now, when it comes to my company, Credit Integrity, we have credit solutions for every client, regardless of their credit background or their financial situation. Now, I do offer credit monitoring services. The first one is Credit Hero Score, which provides the client with a free bureau credit report and their Vantage credit score. Now, with this credit monitoring service, they also get some additional benefits, some credit score tools. And one of the most important, in my opinion, is the debt to income ratio. A lot of clients are not aware of their actual DTI, and it is crucial for them to be aware of that, just because that is a major factor when it comes to the underwriting process. Now, with that, it does also include a credit score simulator and some great identity protection benefits, like $1 million in identity theft protection. Along with that, they do have a dark web monitoring service as well. So if your client has, been hacked or was with a company that was hacked, and for some reason their social security number or their information ends up on the dark web, this service will alert them and provide the right course of action for them to take in order to potentially get that resolved. Now, when it comes to Credit Hero Score, currently there is a 7-day trial period for $1, and the service costs $19.95 a month. Now, a lot of clients, when they come to you or when they go to Craig, they do not know where their credit currently stands. They do not know what's currently reporting on their credit, how their accounts are reporting, and a lot of them don't even know their credit score. And if they do, they probably only know one or two, especially if they use a monitoring service like Credit Karma. Credit Karma only offers the TransUnion and Equifax credit reports and scores. But at that point, what about their Experian credit score, right? Now, next, see here. All right, and the second credit monitoring service that I offer is MyScore IQ, which is powered by Identity IQ. Now, MyScore IQ provides the same benefits, the same features. The only difference is that instead of the client receiving their Vantage credit score, they're going to receive their FICO credit score. Now, I know that you're probably wondering, okay, why do they need two, right? The main reason for that is because Vantage and FICO are the most popular two credit scoring models amongst all lenders. So a lender is either going to use Vantage or FICO. Now, when it comes to mortgages, FICO is typically used more often than not. So it's important for a client. It's important for a client to actually know and understand their FICO credit score and take steps to improving it if they're not already. Now, with My Score IQ, the client does have a 7-day trial period, again, for $1. Now with that, it is slightly more expensive, and that is only because FICO scoring models across the board are more expensive than Vantage. Especially since FICO scoring models are used more, especially in the mortgage world. So with that, the client will be able to not only enjoy the actual benefits, the credit benefits of this program, but with that, again, it comes with some great identity theft protection services, from file sharing networks to lost wallet forming assistance, to the point that they can even add their family to this program. So that way, the entire family can really start being and know when it comes to their credit. All right, and now for the credit repair services. So I do offer credit counseling and credit repair services. Now, when it comes to credit repair services, does anyone not know what credit repair is or how the process works? Not familiar. Not familiar? All right, so I would love to explain. So credit repair is the process of disputing accounts on a credit report directly with the credit bureaus or with the client's creditors or collection. And that is done by tailoring letters for each derogatory item in the credit report, sending those letters directly to the credit bureau, the collection agency, or the creditors on their behalf. Now, with that, as part of this program, the client will get a personalized dispute options to fit their exact credit repair needs. So regardless if it's a late payment, collection, charge-offs, it could even be a duplicate account. Say if someone has, for example, student loans, and that student loan and their original student loan provider sold the debt to another provider, then at that point, they could potentially have both of those accounts reported on their credit report. But with that, say, for example, the first student loan account provider, if they reported late payment history, but now that account information is being handled with another student loan provider, at that point, it makes it easier to along with that, the clients will they will be given an experienced case analyst for their credit repair. And so with that, that case analyst will have monthly meetings with the client to go over any type of dispute updates and also any credit updates, good or bad. It also includes custom dispute letters submitted on their behalf. So we actually mail these letters to the credit bureaus for the client. In this process, the client will not have to do anything. Their only responsibility is to forward me or forward my team at Credit Integrity any correspondence that they receive from the credit bureaus or from their creditors. And then along with that, they will have access to the credit repair process through a client portal, which they can access 24 hours a day, 7 days. Now, along with that, as my referral partners, you will also have a referral access portal that you can use, that you can actually sign into that client's information and submit them as a lead to me, which is basically streamlining the process. Now, let's see here. Now, this is the fun part because everyone's always curious about the price. There's a lot of misunderstanding out there, especially when it comes to credit counseling and credit repair. A lot of my clients, when they come to me, they think that they're going to be spending thousands of dollars in order for us to repair their credit. I had one client actually working with a company that charged them $3,000, which in my opinion, it does not cost that much to repair credit. And at that point, that client was basically taking advantage of. So when it comes to the fees here at Credit Integrity, we charge $49.99 a month for credit counseling services. And what this means is that if you have a client that needs to work on their credit report, but say for example, they do not have any derogatory information reporting, they just need help improving their score, this would be a great program. We tailor each credit counseling or credit repair plan to the goals of the client. So if someone comes to me, so you send someone to me like, hey, this client, he needs to work on his credit. He only has one account reporting right now. He doesn't really know what to do in order to improve it. From there, I would actually create that credit counseling plan and help that client improve their credit score. Now, when it comes to credit repair services, I charge $99.95 a month. It's more so of a subscription-based service. But with that, I offer a 6-month money-back guarantee on my credit repair services, which means that one, I know time is of the essence, not only for the client, but also for all of you, right? You're working with the client to get paid. So with us having that urgency, we offer that 6 month money back guarantee because we guarantee the clients that within 6 months, their credit is going to be where it needs to be in order for them to proceed with either the mortgage process, home buying process, any type of credit goals that they may want to accomplish in the future. Now, I am proud to say that I started this company in 2022. During that time, I was still an active underwriter at First Financial Bank. But since May of 2022, I have not had one refund. So I am happy to say all of my clients that have been referred to me that I have worked with, I have improved their credit scores to the point they were right where they needed to be to proceed. Not one refund since I've started.
How long does that process take?
So the credit repair process, I try to have everything done in 6 months. And that's why I offer the 6 month money back guarantee, because really that removes any hesitation from the client because they really don't have anything to, their credit is already in a bad place. And so a lot of clients, you may have experienced this, a lot of clients, if they have a collection or charge off, they may wait to the statute of limitations is over, which could be 7 years. But at that point, the client then is 7 years behind their credit goals. And then also you delay your payment for that deal 7 years at that point. Now with that, we do not charge an hourly fee. So after the client pays in $99.95, that is their only payment for the month at that point. With that, we do not stick your client with any hidden fees, which means that say 3 months down the line, they're like, your client is going to get a phone call from me and say, hey, Trey, I was charged $99.95 last month, but this month it's $120. What's going on? That will never happen. And then along with that, we will be with them every step of the way. We will have a monthly credit consultation with that client to go over their results. Along with that, we're always available if they have any questions or concerns. All right. Now, I do also offer do-it-yourself credit repair services. Now, this service is a great alternative for any clients that's basically in a financial bind. So say if you have a client that would like credit repair services, they need it, but unfortunately for some reason, they can't afford it. And then with that, a lot of clients, they're more so concerned about their down payment instead of paying for a credit repair service. I know that sounds kind of backwards because you can't proceed, with the mortgage transaction unless your credit is good standing. However, it's still one of those things that are that's most important to them. Now, this service here allows the client to repair their credit report in 5 minutes. It only takes 5 minutes a month. And how that's done is step one, they enroll with Credit Integrity for the DIY service. Step two, they dispute those accounts. So in this service, it is AI driven. So what's going to happen is that once they enroll into the DIY service, they're going to have an option to continue with the free credit repair, which allows them to actually manually add their dispute accounts. And then from there, add them to their add it to the system. And then from there, they can mail out the letters. Now they can either mail the letters using the software, or they can print them out and just mail them themselves. Now, when it comes to the cost for the DIY, for the do-it-yourself credit repair service, it is free, 100% free. So if a client wanted to sign up for the service and go with a completely free route, they have to manually enter their information, print out those letters, completely free for them. Now, it will take a little bit more time. However, some people don't mind that. Now, they will have an option to purchase a 3-bureau credit report for $39.99. Now, once they purchase that 3-bureau credit report, that's when the AI system kicks into gear. And the AI is actually going to identify the negative impacting factors on their credit score. On their credit report. Create the dispute letters, and then the client will have the option to mail those letters using the software. And on average, it costs $2.50 to mail a letter per bureau. So really, the client is looking at around like $7 a month just to send out letters, which isn't bad at all. Now, this here is the credit repair service website. Feel free to save this if you're interested. Again, this is a service that I offer free to the clients just because I'm not in this just to profit. I am in this to literally change lives. And if you're able to change a client's credit situation, then you've literally just changed their entire life. A lot of folks, especially lately, when they purchase a home, that's going to be one of the most biggest purchases that they're ever going to experience in their lives. So with that, I wanted to make the process as easy as possible, regardless of the client's financial situation. Is everyone good here? All right. Okay. Okay. Now, when it comes to my preferred referrals, any credit challenge borrowers is going to be ideal. So this is anyone that, has a low credit score to the point that they can't proceed with the mortgage buying transaction. Along with that, any, just any clients that may have collections charge on late payments on the credit report. First-time home buyers. I love working with first-time home buyers. They actually get me excited with them to purchase their home. It's a very exciting process. With that, a lot of first-time home buyers, they prefer to sign up for a credit counseling service. That's because they need assistance improving their credit score. They may not necessarily have any derogatory information, may just need a little bit of assistance improving it 30 to 100 points. And then with that, I have a list here, individual with a credit score between 300 and 850. The main reason why I have that is because I offer credit solutions literally for any and everyone, regardless of their credit situation. It could be a client that may have for example, a 740 credit score. And really, if they have a 740 credit score, that's pretty good, right? They may not need actual credit repair service, but they may be in need of credit counseling services. Maybe they want to go from that 740 to an 800, from that 800 to an 850. And with that, it comes down to analyzing the accounts that's currently reporting on their credit report and seeing if there needs to be any change. Say if there's a client that has, nothing but credit cards reported, then at that point, it's going to be hard for them to really achieve that because they don't have a good credit mix. It would be good to potentially throw in a line of credit or potentially maybe just some type of installment loan, or if they already have a home, potentially a second mortgage if they already, unless they paid off their first. Now, when it comes to my referral partners, I do have a program for you all. And so this program is here to not only help your credit challenge clients, but to also help you close more deals. And the great thing about this program is that when you receive your affiliate portal login information, when a client logs in to check on their credit repair process, they're going to see your name, your face, your phone number, and your website as soon as they log in. So at that point, the client will never forget about it. Because how many of us in here has had a client you were working with them, things didn't work out, and then you guys just maybe lost touch, but then say like a few years later, or maybe a few months later, you see them, but they've already purchased the home, already went through that process. So with this program, it makes it easy for them to follow up with you, but also makes it easy for us to do. So say when, say if you send someone to me, they're at 600, they need to be at a 660. At that point, once they're at 660, not only will I contact you to let you know, hey, you got this client credit score to a 660, which is what you're looking for. I think you're good to go to proceed with the home buying process. Yes. So when you sign up as a part of it, you will actually receive a link to DIY service. And so that link, when it comes to my DIY service, is white label. So of course it's going to be credit, but it's say your photo to that website. Most times you can. So they go in through me initially to receive the buy option. Correct. Which has individual agents and then with that, that's going to allow you to fewer instances of the process, which then you can also add it to whatever service you have. But with that, DIY clients, when you're in that portal, now the only difference between the actual credit repair portal and the DIY portal is that with the credit repair portal, you're going to be able to stay updated on their progress with credit repair. So if you send someone to me and they're at a 600, a 660, and say you send them to me today, you can log in March or April, and you'll actually see month to month their credit score changes, which then also makes it easier for you to follow up. Because that's an easy, quick phone call. Hey, I see you trade a few months ago. I see that when I sent them to you, you're at a 600. Now you're at a 660. I think you're right where you need to be to start the process. Now with that, when it comes to signing up for that portal, because I actually do have a QR code that somehow missed in this slide here. But if you are interested in signing up for that service, either leave me your business card, send me an email, or you can log into, I'm sorry, or you can go to my website, credit-integrity.com, and sign up for the partner program on my wrist. Now with that, after you sign up for the partner program, you're all set. You're good to go. You're ready to submit referrals. You're ready to, really get the process started and really, change the process from, hey, I have credit challenge clients that, basically I'm giving up on. No, hey, I have this credit challenge client. There's still a chance here. Do I have any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, so I do know with business credit as well, it's a different process. And it's also a little bit more complex because business credit will actually takes us out. But I do have programs for that to the point that I can help business owners actually establish and improve the business credit score to 6 and that's all. And then also with that, when it comes to business credit, of course, the credit score, the credit scores are different. Business credit scores typically range from 0 to 100, with 80 business credit score being similar to say having like a 750 plus personal credit score. And it's actually quite amazing because I've actually helped businesses get business credit without them being listed as a personal guarantor, which is huge for any entrepreneurs and business owners. Now, as part of my referral program, I do offer a referral incentive. Typically, that is $25 for any client that signs up for credit repair service, and that is a one-time fee. I'm sorry, and that is a one-time payment. Now, from now until the end of the year, I have increased that incentive from $25 to $50. And I know 25 to $50 may not sound like a lot. However, it can slowly start to add up. I actually have some referral partners that make around $1,000, $2,000 a month just from them sending leads and them signing up for services. And then with that, I believe that may be all I have. And also when it comes to yes. That's when I say that we got to the credit and identify that. So if a client takes that money is tight and they may not be able to work that credit repair service, and that's what I'll do.
That tax credit, tax debt, or tax liens, is that included in the process? Or?
It is not, unfortunately, just due to those type of liens being with the IRS. It's extremely hard to dispute that account information. The same thing when it comes to bankruptcies. At Credit Integrity, we do not dispute any bankruptcies on a credit report. And the main reason being is because with that bankruptcy is associated with discharged debts. Now, if we were to remove the bankruptcy, then there's a potential that those discharged debts can reappear on that client's credit report, which at that point would basically be them further wrong than when they came to. But also that would then extend the credit repair process by 6 to 7 months. So when it comes to tax liens and then bankruptcies, that is something.
Co-signing. How bad is it? If you co-sign for somebody, they're late on payment for like a quarter. How bad is that hurt you?
Payment history is 35% of your credit score. Honestly, it just comes down to disputing that information with the credit bureau. Now, with that being said, the account has to already be in good stead. So I will not dispute a late payment on an account if that account is still current. Because at that point, the credit bureau just want to look at that dispute like, okay, what's going on? Like, he's currently, like he just received notification he's late, but yet he's disputing those late payments. This doesn't make sense. Yeah, and so at that point, now I will say when it comes to authorized user accounts that has derogatory credit information reporting, so that could be a late payment. It could be to the point that the credit that the balance has been over the credit limit for some months now. That's going to have a negative impact
if you were to send a client to me that has an authorized user account on there with some derogatory information, it is easy to get those removed because the client isn't right for the day. It was more so on there just to help them out and improve their score, but if it's having an adverse effect, then it makes it a lot easier. Any other questions?
Kind of two questions. So the first one is just, it's like a $99 a month fee. Do you recommend 6 months or it just depends on each client? How long it take?
So the goal is to have the client's credit score where it needs to be 6 months. This is the time for that. So, now with that, depending on the client's credit situation, so say someone should be that, come on, you know. Say they have 30 collection. It's probably gonna take a lot longer to get all of those removed just because of how many accounts there actually are. But my goal is 6 months, within 6 months.
And then you say you offer, it says like the DTI, that's the income. You offer like the counseling, counseling services. What you gotta pay off, what you gotta get that down.
That's correct. Now with that, that's an income ratio. So when it comes to the DTI, that is actually a service that's provided in the credit monitoring service, credit bureau score, and then also in my score IQ. Now with that, as I'm going through the counseling or credit bureau or the credit bureau process, I will educate the client on their actual DTIs because I like for my clients to be aware of their entire situation. So I'm going to educate them on their credit, their DTI, a mix of their accounts, their current credit utilization, how they can properly manage that, along with finding ways on how to improve their credit score. Because sometimes it can be something simple as having a client sign up for Experian Boost, and Experian Boost, depending on what's reporting and checking accounts, once that information is put on their credit report, it could increase their score 20, 30 points, which is right where it needs to be. Any other questions? No? All right. Yes.
Just to clarify so we sign up for your program, we get an app that we can put out to our clients. So is that something they put on their phone? And then when they access it, our logos, whatnot would be incorporated as well?
Yeah, so it's not an app, it would just be a website. But with that, you're correct. So when you sign up with the referral program, when you log into your referral portal, you're going to be able to add your photo, your email address, phone number, and website information. So when you send me a referral, so say if you were to send me, John Hanson, just as an example, when I sign up John for credit repair services, when you log into your portal, you're also going to see that he was fully signed up for services, and then from there you can start to track his progress.
Okay, so I just started credit repair program. So can I use the portal as a link so I don't have to send somebody? They hit my site, they can see the credit repair page, click the link, go straight to it, start filling it out.
Yes, sir. Smart fellow. Yeah, and so you can do that for the DIY service, but then also for the regular credit repair service as well. Any other questions? And then is there anyone else that would like to sign up for my partner program that would like to give me the card? Thank you, Mark.
You can get that card fast enough out of his line.
I had it out earlier, I was sold, but he had me at hello.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Well, guys, we have one more thing that we're going to go over. Yeah, if we could get Miss Susan up here and your counterpart who ran away.
He's getting glazed.
Join White Sam, I see they updated the listing contract again in October. I just pulled one up last night, I went, oh, this said the same.
Well, this is why
Had to do with the commission.
and they don't always let us know. It turns out. Hi, how are you? You awake? Good. Hey, guys. Oh, do we have our PowerPoint? All right. Yeah, how about that? if
We're all
there's,
put
can you
together.
fix some mistakes?
I found, yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So, Brian and I were asked to speak about off markets and office exclusives and how that can help business. I know and I know you as well. Anytime I hear any kind of an opportunity, whether it's a buyer or a seller, I always think, how can that turn into a listing opportunity? Always, it's the first thing that enters my mind. Even if I'm going to be going out to show property, it's like, okay, could this be a listing? And I think off markets are a way to do that.
Agreed.
It's easy.
Yep. I told him I was gonna agree.
No, you're not. No, you have to talk. That's what this is all about. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got the mouse.
Does everybody know what an office exclusive or a delayed entry is?
Yes.
Does anybody not know what it is?
Exclusively.
Does somebody in the crowd want to take a stab at it? We're gonna test your knowledge.
They're the same thing,
They're very similar. Yeah,
Kinda.
pretty much.
yeah.
Yeah.
You want to tell her, Dorina, what it is?
So with the later entry, you have a signed contract for a listing that is not ready to hit the MLS right now, and not ready to be soon, basically. So there's really no expiration date on a delayed entry. It's just showing that you're under contract with this person, so they can't just go off.
Correct.
Perfect.
In that, the add-on that I'll put on there is in that period, we are allowed to talk about it in the office. So that's why it's also referred to as like an inter-office exclusive. So it's an opportunity.
Is that, I'm only asking because she's a Kentucky agent. Is that the same for Kentucky? Do they have the same process that we have in Ohio?
Kinda. It's pretty much mirrors it, but we here have it coming soon, and they don't. I mean, it's either in or out. There's no way.
So they
But
don't
the
have-
other
they
rules,
don't have an expiration date on the late entry in Kentucky?
there may be a new delayed form. I'll have to check on that. I'll get back to you.
There shouldn't be like an expiration. Like if you needed to, if you had the opportunity to get it 6 months before you're gonna hit the mark, like you can do that. You can
And in
extend it.
Ohio, we did have a delayed entry form, which has gone by the wayside, so we don't have that. So if you take a listing that you are not putting in MLS or you're delaying to put it in MLS, you do not have to send it to them.
The delayed entry still pops up on Bell.
Yeah, it's still in there. It's just, you don't have, they're not gonna send you like a.
I always have my
notice.
clients fill it out.
Yeah, I would do it. I would still have it filled out.
But I don't send
It's just not a requirement. When she says it's not needed, I think it's still needed.
Well, it's not required by MLS.
It's not required by
You do not have
MLS.
to
You don't
get-
have to upload it into the system. I always still get it signed like that.
When you start.
I want to get it signed because there's somewhere, like I had a bankruptcy listing that came out of the bankruptcy court, and my listing date was like 6 months before I could actually get it in the MLS. And so I had to use that. They wouldn't update the listing contract because it was already court approved. They didn't want to go back. And so I had a listing, it's maybe like 35 days in the MLS, but it shows like it's been in 6 months. So I like the delayed entry form because that would allow me to just quickly get that signed by the trustee and put and have it show like it's, it just shows like it's been sitting in the MLS. Nothing.
The MLS would modify that for you?
Did they modify it? No.
Really?
Yes. So what else do we have? Okay, so with the delayed entry, it's a listing that can be marketed only to our office, or not the delayed entry, but the exclusive, the office exclusive, or an off market. And I come from the land of off markets. In California, when it goes to MLS, it's already dead. Whenever you get a call, the first thing they say is it on the market? Has it been on the market? If you say yes, they move on. They don't even want to talk to you. So we did a lot of off markets there because that's how it puts you above everyone else to be able to do more business. And we're going to talk about that here and how that can make us better here as well. Whenever you're doing an office exclusive or anything like that, it can only be marketed here. If it goes live to another agent outside there, you can market it to your people. We're going to talk about that for a second too, to your own clients. But if it goes live to another agent, it has to be put into the MLS within 24 hours. So as active. Yeah, as active.
And you gotta be
Off
careful.
market, not delayed, off market. You cannot solicit other bids.
You cannot, no, which kind of is very cool because it gives you an exclusive listing that nobody else can really touch.
And that's the same with the later tree.
I know that. So clarification was out there.
And so like, that's why you gotta be careful. You can't go in, so like, when you show you how to look for the delayed entries in the office exclusives, you can't go in there and find that stuff and then go post it on Facebook. You have to be kind of vague, like, we've got this, and we're gonna go into that, right?
A little bit, yeah, they mentioned that you can go into great detail. You might want to go back to that last screen.
Are we still on this?
If they would work with you, they can't talk to you, then go to another agent, bring the other agent in, because then all of a sudden it becomes public.
If the neighbor comes and asks about it, that seller can say, yes, you can talk with my agent. They're the only ones that can, do anything at the moment until we can publicly face
And
the
that puts
market.
up your spirit.
Yeah, so, but you can't advertise outside of our agents. If it goes public in any way, that's with flyers, anything, they will nail you if they find out you did it, and they will also give you a fine. So you have to be really careful with it. And any agent outside our office cannot be notified in any way to bring a buyer.
And if you have wholesalers, I would send it to them.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna.
They're gonna put it
They're
down
gonna
already.
publicly market the shit out of it. Excuse my language, but that's what they do.
You do. So how does it help agents in their brand? How do you think it would help you to have off markets?
You can't get it heard, and you know what's coming up for anybody else.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, anybody can find a house on realtor.com, but if they know that you're the guy who has off markets, they're gonna call you directly.
Yep.
So you're gonna get more business, more clients out.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna seem to be more of a leader in the industry.
Yeah, I think it really does set you apart. And one thing is it creates exclusivity because if you have that listing and you're the only one that has it, what you just said, Mark, people are going to start knowing you for that. They're going to start calling you for that. And that's when you're going to be able to start doing a lot of extra business.
You become the matchmaker.
Yeah, for sure.
You get the double end deal too. And
Well, yeah, they'll come after you for the on-market stuff too, if they know that you're kicking
absolutely.
ass off.
Yeah, for sure. And it creates opportunity to target market and build a list. So you were talking about that yesterday, Brian. Want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, so like new agents, right? If you're looking for buyers to work with, building a that's one way you can publicly face it and say, hey, I have an opportunity to get you in front of deals that haven't hit the market yet. And I'm building the list. If you want me to add you to the list, send me a message. That could be but doing that consistently, you're going to build up a list of people that are buyers, and the odds are you're going to sell them something that hits the market, but you got the opportunity to get in front of them and win them as a client. So it's just an opportunity. You're not going to always sell people the off-market exclusives, but building that, it's an exclusive list, and having the opportunity to hit the market in a competitive market like we are in there's a big advantage.
Let me
Anything
ask-
else?
I got a question for you on that.
Yeah.
So like if I send out to my database, an off market that I've got, should I have people that want to be a part of my off market database sign an agreement that they will not discuss that with agents outside of myself? So
Or just be kind of vague in those emails, like I've got this
yeah,
in this area, don't nail the address down, I think.
Yeah, maybe just
But at some
cutting.
point in time, you're gonna have to give them information.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, then I would go ahead and get the buyer rep
Yeah.
agreement signed prior to even giving them the information on that particular house. I would. I think
Yeah,
that's a
because
good
you
way
can
to
get them
go.
in, you can show them the proproperty. There's
Yeah, that
nothing
way
against.
you're locked up now, they don't call niece and say, oh, this guy's got a property, you should send your clients over.
Yeah, but as long as you've only mentioned I have off markets coming on, you haven't told them anything about it,
Right.
then they really don't have to go on. So they can call their all they want, but it's their cooperation on specific properties.
They'll,
that are
another
listed.
agent, I mean, they call me on mine because I'll talk about stuff in open houses if it's nearby, like, hey, I've got things coming up. If you're not working with an agent, they go, well, what do you mean? And then I hear from their agent, like, hey, what were you talking about? I'm like, it's an office exclusive. I'll be able to tell you about it later.
They'll see your logo vehicle parked in front of their neighbor's house.
But you do have to be careful what you say, and you do have to be very careful about how you promote it, because it can also get you in trouble. But if you do it the right way, it's really a great, great way to increase business. Okay, so this is a success story. I'll be very, very brief, but I've been doing these off markets for a while. So I met with a buyer about 2 months ago, came into the office here to talk, and he'd been looking with another agent for a year. And I said, where do you want to be? He wanted to be in Newport, and he wanted to be in Mansion Hill area. Not a big area, like, I don't know how many streets, 12 streets, I don't, not many. So I said, well, what if I could promise you to call or try to call or reach out to everybody in that market area and find you an off market? How does that sound? There's nothing for his needs. And he said, that would be amazing. I was, oh my gosh, yes, let's do it. He signed that day, never met him before. He signed, within 7 days we were under contract. That night, one of the team members on my team got on the telephone an hour or so and did some calls. She got 2 off-market appointments for us to go in on. Neither of those worked for him, but this just happened to come on the market the next day on the open market, and he bought it. So
Did you get either of the listings?
we're still, they will, yeah, we don't have them in yet. They're going on in the spring. So both of those listings are still in our inventory. And if I have anybody else call, say York Street, it's a hint, right, for Kentucky agents, for York Street, I'll call them and say, are you still thinking about selling? If you will, we can do a one-time listing as well. So it does work out. And so the exclusives can get them. Got him in, made him a client of mine. He didn't buy one, but he still bought within a week. And it was
My
great.
only concern is, how does this help the seller? If you have a hot property, why would they want to go to the market for a bidding war?
A lot of people
Not
don't.
everybody does.
People
They
in their
just
I haven't
house.
don't
met anybody yet that doesn't want more money.
Well, look, if it's a
If it's
family
easy,
member's
yeah.
house, deceased father, they don't want people stopping through his property. They want you to control it, be at every showing.
I haven't met that person yet.
Lately, I've had people like, the prices have gone so far, like through the roof, that people are just, ecstatic what you get, even if it's, and so to make it quick and easy and painless, and you don't have to show a house and have a bunch of people track through your house. Yeah, no, I used to think the same way, but when, if you dig deep enough on your client, you're gonna realize what their true motivation is, and it's not always.
And it might be about money. So they might say to you, Randy, we paid 300 last year, but if we could sell it for 350 this year, yeah, we'd be happy to sell it. So they've given you their number. You always explain to them open market versus an exclusive, how that can change and hurt them initially, or maybe ultimately, or maybe not at all. It may give them more money. But that will also let you know what they need. And if they're happy with that and you explain to them it could go for more.
Have you
A lot
had
of
a new
times they-
listing in the last 60 to 90 days? Did it go under contract in the first week
No.
in multiple offers? So that's kind of behind us, right? So now the pricing strategy is you got to come in low to create that, or you're going to be sitting anyway. So you're going to sit, you're going to have a seller who, that if you didn't set the right expectations up front, is probably freaking out at week 2 or 3. And then the reality is most neighborhoods and things are at like a 30-day on market.
What if you run through your off-market
Well,
buyers?
the market has changed lately, but if you're talking about,
I would say the last 2 years, yeah,
The
office
crazy market
exclusives
on the
were
high.
probably dumb. You want to go to
the
market,
house and base.
you want to get the people in, but now it's like, okay, prices are still up. things are taking longer. If you could get the number you want and have less stress and all the other stuff, like, it's a no-brainer.
And you could run the comp, set the price, run through your entire database, show the value to your database, so they call you when there is an on market. And then once you've exhausted all your database in about a year, then you put it on market, you're day one on the MLS.
If you want to.
You've already tried both.
Most of my delayed entries too that I put in 3 in the last like 3 or 4 months, are people who are building homes. And we know what the market's doing. So we're like, all right, that's just extra exposure. If we don't sell it in that period, fine. If somebody doesn't come with the number, fine. But it still gives the office an opportunity. It still gives me stuff to talk about and build exclusive lists where people feel honored and privileged to be on them. That's really what it's about.
That
It's
is
just trying
really
to
what it's about.
There's somewhere in command that you put these.
There it is.
KWLS, it's the tab on the left side. It looks like a little for sale sign, I think. You go to that. If you don't, if you don't have you got to start, just like if you're starting an opportunity, you have to have the client's info first. But yeah, you add it all in there, and you can add all the pictures, and then we're going to do a better job making sure the agents know how to get to it, and maybe even having some up in a spot.
Adding it onto the dashboard so that when you're on command, you can see your office exclusive listings.
Yeah, I think it's great. And it's also going to help make our listing inventory increase for sure, I think.
Are we able to just create smart plans similar to like an agent smart plans where I can have my listings that get sent out? Or really, I mean, to just go to the agents, I don't know if they would go to will those pull up, like if I'm building a landing page, as if I could go, or they?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think if the agent saw it, just can't share.
I mean, at one point we had our website encrypted, password protected.
Password to access it.
It's getting more implementation from all the agents in order to really.
It does. It just needs everybody to jump on it. But in a lot of offices, there's only a few people maybe that do off markets. And so if I know that, I know Brian's doing that, and I need a house in a particular area, I'm going to get straight to him in my office and say, do you have blah, blah, blah? And he might, and he might not. So these are some effective marketing strategies that have been proven. Leverage your network. So that means that you need to have your database up to snuff, right? So your network is in your database and you want to make sure that they're available. Do some matchmaking. You mentioned that.
But I think that probably the most important thing is take them off the street. Like if you put them under office exclusive, they can't go sign with another freaking agent. Like, who cares if you don't sell it? You're protected during that period. You know what I mean? Like, they can't go list it with somebody else. And
Just cancel your.
they don't do that. Not if they're building a house and it's not ready to go on the market anyways. So. But that's why I like to do it. Like, no one. You can get somebody to sign up to 6 months in advance.
It's also
On a
a
year
good way to
listing.
test the waters as well. So if you think you're going in with an overpriced listing, which I'm doing, we've all done it recently because of the change in the market. If you put it out there for a little bit of time, whatever that is, letting them know it's going to be an office exclusive, you're going to know real fast if you're priced right or not priced right, correct? And so when you're ready to hit the big market and it goes into MLS, you can get it priced right. And they know by then. Because as we're going through the shifting market, sellers are not catching up quickly enough. Realtors are not catching up quickly enough. And we're not delivering our stories effectively enough to get them to go to the pricing to where it needs to be today. I think it helps with that.
Yep.
There was a little, Brian, of like, if you're only going to do a delayed entry a week, do you bother doing that?
Coming soon. Because then I can publicly face it, mark the shit out of it. Try to
How
get-
far out do you bother putting it on exclusive?
Yeah, I mean, in all reality, I mean, you want the most exposure as possible. So like, I think I'm going to start implementing where the last 10 days, I'm going to go in coming soon. So I'm going to get the extra paperwork filled out so that 10 days before I hit the market, I can publicly push it one final push, right? Before,
Well, how far out would you do this on command? Like if you have delayed entry?
shit, if somebody told me they were gonna do it next year, I would lock
What's the
them up.
minimum? I'm sorry, minimum.
Oh, the minimum? There's no minimum. You know, if they were 20 days out, I'd do a 10-day office exclusive and I'd try to get it in front of, you know, you might, depending on when you took it, you might have an opportunity to get in front of the office twice at a sales meeting before you hit the market. So just stand up, make sure I need, make sure you're talking about it, make sure people know. And then the 10 days do coming soon. That way you can actually have your marketing collateral going out publicly. Other agents can start setting up appointments. You're going to see quick, you know, and incoming soon, they can't see it, but they can start requesting showing. So you're going to see in that period, like, all right, are we going to have, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong
And
with
then-
doing that for the MLS, because I do that. If I meet with someone today and they're not ready for 6 months, I say, hey, well, let's just get the sign now. And then I'm doing it right now with the client. I get the sign, she's not ready until the spring. But I'm like, let me get it signed. That way I can start marketing it.
Now, how far out are you, does a contract
6
expire?
months.
I do contracts for a whole year.
Okay.
So it'll expire December of 25. All of my listings expire December of 25.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a whole year,
That is so
that gives
smart.
me plenty of time to get it sold. But then I delayed it until January 13th. Then come January 3rd, which is 10 days before January 13th, when we're supposed to go active, I changed it to a coming soon.
Sense?
And it's just, and the MLS doesn't care. The MLS doesn't care. You can delay it. They told me you can delay it many times before.
Yeah, they don't care about delayed entry. They just don't. Unless you're covering something like you were trying to do, that bankruptcies. I don't even know if they would look at that.
But they didn't, I had one that.
They might. I didn't ask.
Yeah.
We sat as a office exclusive for about 3 months, and then we were ready to go on the market, and I even said, I didn't delayed sign. Got the delayed sign. Unless we didn't get it.
It's a good
All
farming
right.
technique.
So I guess
It
we
is.
are, we need to be, I'm getting the,
Be door knocking
Where's the
entire
music?
city.
I got two of mine are on the same street. So that answers your question.
okay, so build us people, and I think we're almost there. Just one more click, I think we're done.
I do the full, oh no, I let them know. So I've been putting them in. Some of mine don't have pictures and I'm like, as soon as we can start getting pictures, let me know. And depending on where it is, because we do it all the pictures and how we don't hire the photographer for any of it. So, as they get rooms ready, we'll just go get a picture. You got plenty of time. It takes a little bit longer, but then you get to, like, that's where I'm at. Like, hey, who else on, you know, especially if you get like a boomer, they're all thinking about moving. And, you know, if they all, you know, in the neighborhood, if one moves, they all start thinking about it. So you just want to, so it gives us the opportunity to keep getting in front of them. Because I'd rather do that than make phone calls.
Okay, is that it? Oh, the cons.
There aren't any.
No, there aren't any cons. We already talked about all the cons. Randy, you brought most of them up. So, hey guys, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
If you have, oh, you're welcome. If you have any other questions, just hit us up out here, okay? Because I know everybody's probably hungry. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and abide by your MLS rules, okay?
All right, just real quick, and then we're gonna get to lunch. QL Next Gen, that's in January. Please register. Tickets are going fast. So if you know anyone in that age range that's interested in this is a free event for them. So please sign up.
Just registered all 3 of my kids.
Awesome. Nice. Career night next Tuesday night with Peyton and Chad. If you know anyone that's interested in real estate, send them off. And family reunion and KW Cares. You're way behind schedule. Food is in the kitchen. Please go eat. Talk about office exclusives. Talk about I have my needs.
It's a real nice place.
I am not surprised.
where they
You
can
want it
stop.
to
I want the
look-
QR code, I guess, maybe if I could get the QR code, I could create my own.
Yeah, yeah, you create your own, but like you can also, you can use text. So like, you do Mark Rankin's career night, highlight it, right click, insert the link. And so it just looks like your name.
Yeah, I can just do a Google Docs, I guess.
Great job,
Have them register for the career
So
night.
you're wanting them to go into like a whole other branded site to register for that specific career night?
I'd like to be able to put out a QR code or a Google Doc that they could register for the career night, come to me, and then I meet them here. And
Okay, yeah, I mean. Or
do like a
Google
little
Forms if
intro
you-
with them before career night starts. And then
Um,
stick it.
Peyton is probably the best person to. help you with
I've
that.
got all that.
Okay.
I just steal what I can off of our internal page or external page. Go to that.
Hi.
What do you got? No, there's no way.
Yeah, so, like, what I will do is send out the email
Okay,
to
good.
them, and then you can either,
I don't take her.
No. Or I can do the usage from your account or. Okay. All right. well, I just thought I would come in today.
So you said 41,000.
Yeah, I did math.
Yeah.
45 by 36.
Absolutely. Let me just stop this real quick.
Which, but it really depends on
So a third